Oil prices are up 2.5%, WTI 23.92, Brent crude 29.71. I made my first oil investment 25 years ago, and I've never been more excited about oil and gas investing as I am today. It is exciting to be in this business right now because I know oil prices are coming back in a big way. And while I take advantage of the situation, get into premium leases, while everyone else is bailing out and falling apart because of shale. And I'm telling you right now, the world powers want oil prices to come back strong. Donald Trump cannot maintain his foreign oil energy dependence at $20-something a barrel. Putin cannot run his country at $20-something a barrel. Saudi Arabia cannot run their country at $20-something a barrel. No country in the Middle East wants $20 oil. So everybody's agenda is oil prices go up. Can you imagine if the Republicans and the Democrats, if Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump wanted the same thing, it wouldn't matter what it would take to get there. And so here's the thing. Oil prices will go up. The question is when? At what point? So while everyone else is freaking out, why the banks have cut off money for the oil and gas industry, while everybody else is pulling out, conventional is the only way to make money right now, meaning we're not fracking, we're not going after shale, the very expensive shale. Shale is the most expensive barrel of oil to produce. Saudi Arabia and Russia knows this, and this is why they're simply flooding the markets with oil to take out shale, because shale has been a thorn in their side since 2012. They cannot balance the oil markets anymore by simply reducing output. They can't have these high oil prices anymore because shale and shale alone. And the goal here is to shut shale down. All right. And so if you look here in the news, U.S. oil turns its back on the Permian as prices crash. Yes, because the Permian Basin is focused on shale. Not only is it too expensive to develop shale oil right now, especially at $20-something a barrel, even at $80 a barrel, each well that they drill in the Permian is getting less and less productive. Premium leases are gone. Developed so much, there's no premium leases available because it's already been drilled. And not only that, geologically speaking, each well that they drill, it's going to produce less oil. Okay. Now, I love the Institute for Energy Economics and Financial Analysis. They have a team of like 50 plus PhD. They are trained in the arts of knowing finances and the economy and analysis. Their team is above my pay grade for sure. And most journalists, OPEC, Russia, everybody in the world goes to these guys for information regarding energy analysis. And so if you look here, fracking companies 2019 performance signals ongoing crisis. March 19th, 5 days ago, the U.S. fracking industry in 2019 continued its unsuccessful decade-long quest to produce positive free cash flow. Now, listen, these are the guys with all the information, all the wisdom. They've been following it much longer than I have. Their analysis is that over the last decade, shale has not been profitable. The first 5 years of that decade, oil prices were over $100 a barrel. The last 5 years of that decade, the oil prices have averaged $60 a barrel, and we're at 23 today. How much less likely is shale to survive this? Looking at a cross-section of 34 North American shale-focused oil and gas producers, analysts found that the companies spent $189 billion more on drilling and other capital expenses over the past decade than they generated from selling oil and gas. This is based on 34 companies. There's a lot more than 34 shale companies out there, but based on 34 companies, they overspent $189 billion. That is the biggest losing investment the world has ever seen. I've been touting this for the last 10 years. Shale oil and gas is a flash in the pan. It's a Ponzi scheme at best, and it's the biggest loser. While they're losing $189 billion, it's not like they spent 189 billion and brought back 189 billion. No, they spent billions and billions, and they came up with 189 billion less than where they started when they started developing shale. They drilled shale wells and they lost money. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so they take on these brilliant CFOs from these massive shell companies that are spending billions, and they're telling the American people, they're lying to the world and saying, hey, we're making record profits. We have record producing production. And Donald Trump, which I respect the man, but he doesn't understand shale. He doesn't understand oil and gas, is touting to the world, I've built the oil and gas industry bigger and better than it's ever been before. The one thing he did is he waged economic warfare on OPEC, on Saudi Arabia, on Russia. He did a good job doing that. He also made us foreign oil. We're not dependent on foreign oil anymore like we were under the Clintons, the Bushes, and the Obamas. We're independent now, and we're a net exporter of oil. That's all great, but you cannot maintain that with shale. He made a huge mistake dumping all this money in shale. And here we are today. Russia simply pumps a lot of oil, and look at the situation we're in. They easily destroyed the oil and gas industry. 10 years of building something, and now it's destroyed. It's like building a castle on the sand. It was easily taken down. It was never profitable. And so a lot of people are asking me this question, Sean, how can I make money in the oil and gas industry? One guy said, several people asked me about, hey, Chesapeake looks like a really good buy right now. Well, Chesapeake is 17 cents a share right now, and the highest they've been over the last 5 years is $16.54. The reason why they're 17 cents a share is because the world is realizing that shale is the biggest Ponzi scheme this world has ever seen. Now, I relate it to a Ponzi scheme because, but I don't hold Chesapeake and these other companies as just blatantly being fraudulent. I don't believe that. I personally believe that people were investing in shale because of the hype. And the hype caused people to lose their butts, caused the banks to get sucked in. I cannot believe, I've been in this industry for the last 25 years. If they would have subscribed to my YouTube channel, they would have made this mistake. And that's kind of a joke, but at the same time, it's true, because these guys, shame on them. They have more access to wisdom because they have so much money to access this information, to surround themselves with good quality people. But the problem is everybody was in on it. Trump was hook, line, and sinker on this thing. He didn't foresee what we're dealing with today. All of the major oil and gas industries made everyone believe that shale is going to revolutionize the world. It has, but look, now we can't even maintain these numbers. Okay. It was a false sense of reality, and we're falling apart. The only way I know to make money in oil and gas right now is conventional oil plays. If you drill a well right now, we're actually going to be drilling 2 wells sometime the end of this week to early next week. And we've got 2 wells being drilled for roughly 1.2 million. That means each well is 600,000. If we produce 50 barrels a day times $23 a barrel, that's roughly $400,000 a year gross on a $600,000 oil well. That's 100% tax deductible. So to me, and we all know oil prices are going to go up. And so the reason why we're getting into an area where 95% of the wells that my geologist develops hits, the reason why, or not 95%, 90%, the reason why we could get into a premium lease like that is quite simply because there is far less competition right now because oil prices are low right now. Banks have halted all investments in oil and gas. The stock market is drying up as far as oil and gas funds, and conventional oil plays are the hottest play right now because it's the only play that is profitable right now. And so although there is more competition in conventional, they don't have any money. they don't have the money to go pick up these leases. They're having to cut. They're having to furlough and cut back. They're not able to get money from investors because everyone's sitting on their hands thinking, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. And so I'm taking full advantage of the situation right now, and I'm in an incredible lease. We're really excited. We've got another, by the same geologist, we have another project that we're putting together. It's going to be a 3-well package. Very excited about that. Anyways, if you like these videos, please subscribe to my channel. Until next time, thanks.